everyone, welcome back to my channel. You joined me for yet another day of eating on this very sunny Thursday. It's actually been really lovely weather all week. I just love this time of year. I can't wait to get out in my garden. I've got a few things growing again this year, so the sunshine is very welcome. There is nothing better than growing your own food. But speaking of this time of year, we are well into rhubarb season. I've been seeing it everywhere, and every single year I always feel like I don't make the most of rhubarb. I don't use it enough. So I've been picking it up on my weekly food shop to have for my breakfast. I love to stew it and have it with some coconut yogurt and either granola or toasted oats. I've been making granola quite a lot recently though, so I think I'm gonna go for my toasted oats this morning. They're really quick and easy, and this is all sounding very good to me already, so I think that's breakfast sorted. This is a breakfast I'll be making on repeat this summer. I just washed a stick of rhubarb and then roughly chopped it up into chunks. The bigger the chunks the better, because as it cooks down it does go slightly mushy, so it's nice to keep a little bit of texture. I added those to a pan with some fresh orange zest and orange juice, which sweetens it nicely, but I do add a little maple in too. Gave it a good stir to coat and then left that to gently simmer for around 10 minutes. In that time I made my toasted oats. I do these in melted coconut oil. I then add in around 1/3 cup of rolled oats with some salt, coat the oats in the coconut oil and just toast them off until they're smelling all toasty. Then I add in a splash of soy milk and a little maple, and again just get the oats well coated and toasted. At this point the rhubarb was nice and stewed, so I then leave it to cool slightly. I take a good couple of spoonfuls of coconut yogurt. I was always a soy yogurt person, but coconut yogurt is my go-to now. So good. Added on the toasted oats and then the stewed rhubarb. Then I'll sometimes add on some nuts or seeds for protein. Here I finished with some hemp seeds and pumpkin seeds, which are nice for a bit of crunch too. Very fresh, the cold creamy coconut yogurt with the chewy toasted oats. The way I describe these are like a flapjack mixture before it's baked in the oven. Then the sweet but slightly tart rhubarb. It's just the best combination and summer in a bowl. If you've been watching my videos for many years, you will know I love my matcha. I have it every day. Matcha for me is like coffee for most people. I can't really drink coffee because of the effects it has on me. Most people rely on coffee for energy, but will then suffer from crashes, jitters, poor sleep. Been using Dirty's Matcha Super Blend for the last couple of months now. My husband actually has been drinking their coffee for quite a while. If you haven't heard of Dirty, they are a health and wellness brand that create mushroom teas, coffees and super blends, which are plant-based, science-backed alternatives to coffee. Their Matcha Super Blend combines the antioxidant power of 100% pure ceremonial grade Japanese matcha with brain-boosting functional mushrooms like lion's mane and cordyceps for focus and clarity, and tremella mushrooms, which help to increase the body's production of collagen and hyaluronic acid. Always trying out various matchas, and I love their tea because they're different to my go-to straight up matcha with the added health benefits, and they provide a smoother, more sustainable alternative by actively looking for solutions that still provide the energy. The matcha gives me that boost of energy to help get me through a morning or that afternoon slump. Dirty are giving my community 20% off subscription orders on all products. Just go to the link in the description box to get started on your order. Thank you to Dirty for sponsoring today's video, and I'm gonna make my matcha. I do love my matcha with soy milk, and sometimes I'll sweeten it depending on the matcha and depending on the mood. I use the Plenish Soya Barista milk. Like their other milks, it's just soybeans and water, but the Barista has agave to sweeten and coconut milk in it, so it helps it go a little frothy. There's nothing better than a frothy matcha with lots of ice. It's just the best milky drink for me. Quite literally is chef's kiss. Then for lunch, I made some oyster mushrooms on toast. The best part to this is this bean whip I made using butter beans in a little of the water still. And to that, in the food processor bowl, I grated in a garlic clove and then added in a heaped teaspoon of MISO paste. To be honest, this was kind of a recipe test / experiment, and it didn't quite blend as smoothly as I wanted it to. I added a little toasted sesame oil, which was perfect for the taste, but also making it a little smoother. I'm straight up just eating this out of the bowl. It is So good. I could just eat this for my lunch. Creamy from the butter beans, you've got the garlic, the umami salty miso, and it was such a good idea to put the toasted sesame oil in. That Bayona toasted sesame oil does something to me every time. Then in a pan with a little olive oil, I fried off my oyster mushrooms. I find medium-high heat works best for getting a really lovely crispy golden finish on these. I sliced up a couple of pieces of sourdough and toasted those. And then once the mushrooms had really started to get a nice colour to them, I spread the garlic miso bean whip onto the toast. I then piled on all of the crispy fried oyster mushrooms. And then I made a vegan version of a hot honey. I used the same pan to heat a little agave syrup, and I added that into a small bowl with some chili flakes once it was bubbling. Gave that a good stir through and then drizzled it all over the mushroom toasts. I also snipped some fresh chives from the garden and added that on, apparently everywhere but the actual toast. And that was it, something on toast. As always, a quick and easy but satisfying type of lunch for me. I think I'm gonna cut this in half. Taste test time. That's delicious. Creamy, it's sticky, it's sweet, it's umami, it's salty. There's the kick of the chili heat. I'm gonna sit down and enjoy this properly. You know it's the end of the day when my hair has made it onto the top of my head. It's dinner time, and it's no secret how much I love tofu. We probably have tofu for dinner 3 nights out of the week. It's just my go-to vegan protein, and I always say this, but because it's neutral in flavour, it takes on anything you pair with it, and it's like a sponge. It just soaks everything in. And there's so many different ways you can do tofu. You can scramble it, you can tear it, you can cube it, you can slice it up. And slicing it up is one of my favourite ways to have tofu. I cut it into a big block and then breadcrumb it and slice it up. You can serve with anything. You can have it with rice, you can have it with pasta, noodles, in a salad. So that's what I'm gonna do for dinner, and I'm gonna do it with a kind of green coleslaw salad with an avocado sauce. It's really delicious and it goes really nicely with the crispy tofu. And not that I'm thinking of dessert already, but my husband did message to say that he'd been to a vegan bakery today and he's picked up a couple of things for dessert. So I am very much looking forward to that, but let's make dinner first. And I can't think of a more perfect sunny weather dinner than this. I started off by taking my block of tofu. I sliced that up into 3 smaller blocks. Then I took a bowl of corn flour, a bowl of soy milk, and in a third bowl I added some panko breadcrumbs, sesame seeds, black sesame seeds, garlic granules, paprika, sea salt, and a good drizzle of olive oil. Then combine that all together. I first coat the tofu slices in the corn flour, then dip it into the soy milk, and finally the breadcrumb mixture, and make sure it's well coated all over evenly. The paprika gives it a lovely golden colour, and the olive oil helps everything stick together, but also helps it bake until golden brown and crispy. I baked those for around 20 minutes, and meanwhile I made the green slaw. For this I used 2 different types of cabbage, and not white cabbage, which usually makes up a coleslaw. I used both Savoy cabbage as well as sweetheart cabbage, and finally shredded those up. I then also thinly sliced up a couple of spring onions. I added the shredded cabbages to a bowl along with a spring onion. Then for the dressing in my food processor, I added a whole avocado, a heaped tablespoon of coconut yogurt, then the juice of a lime, a good handful of fresh coriander leaves and stalks, and then a good pinch of salt, and blended that all together until it was completely smooth in texture and looking nice and creamy like this. I then added the dressing into the slaw mix and tossed it through until everything was well combined. Then just set that to the side while I removed the breaded tofu from the oven. I sliced those up into thin strips, then made a bed of that creamy green slaw, placed the breaded tofu on top with some more fresh lime on the side, fresh coriander, some thinly sliced radish, and since it's chai flower season, my favourite kind of season,
reason. I will be putting chai flowers on everything for the foreseeable. Just look how beautiful it makes things look. This is such a delicious bowl of food. The creamy green cabbage and spring onion slaw with that tangy lime and coriander avocado dressing. It's so fresh, and the crispy breaded tofu slices on top pair so well with it as a contrast for textures. These desserts were from Sweet Almond Bakery in Dublin. Small vegan business, go support. We shared half each of the lemon tart, which was light, refreshing, and the crust was so good. And the dark chocolate pistachio cookie, which was so soft and chewy. 12 out of 10 for both. And that's it from us. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.